All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are very grateful that you guys have taken the time to connect with us in this session. I know it's been a long day with a lot of information. So thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Shannon. I am the coordinator for student community engagement in the Office of Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And Carice?
Yeah, I'm Carice. I'm the coordinator for civic engagement here at the Office of Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility. It's a long name, but we usually just shorten it to Caesar. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And at this office, we really just help students develop the knowledge and the skills to address social challenges, to co-create their communities.
Yes. So again, thank you guys all for coming. In today's session, we're going to discuss some of the basics of building meaningful community engagement and ways that your organization can take small steps to begin building sustainable relationships, both on campus and with the surrounding Towson community. Before we get started, we want to just get an idea of which organizations are represented. So if you could, please put your pronouns and your student organization in the chat. So I'll give you guys just a few moments to do that.
I love hearing about all of the organizations that you're from. Some of them I'm very familiar with. Some of them I've never heard of before. So this is really exciting to see such a diverse group of people in this space together.
Agreed. Thank you guys so much. Keep posting if you've not posted yet. I also would like to know, just in a couple of words, what made you all choose this session today? Like, what are you hoping to get from this session as we go through? So you can place that in the chat. You can also unmute very quickly and just say a few words if you would like. But I will give you guys a few moments to do that as well. I'll share briefly what I'm hoping you all will get out of this. I'm hoping that you guys will walk away feeling more confident in your ability to engage with community partners on campus and in the Towson area. I see a few responses popping in. Would like to learn the foundations of building up community engagement. That's great. Would like to engage more outside of the Towson theater community and learn what ways to do that and engage. That's good. Keep them coming. Good stuff. This is awesome. Want to learn how to build a community that is resilient, caring, and open-minded. I love that. Relatively new club are hoping to possibly try and engage with the community outdoors so that it can be fun for everyone. I love that. Awesome. Certainly keep posting. I am going to get ready to share my screen. And I think you guys will find that you'll learn some really great ways to start engaging. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, can everyone see that all right? Okay. So today we're just going to share a little bit with you all about some of the main components of building meaningful community engagement. So first we want to start off with some basic terminology for you all. So we want to talk a little bit about the perspective shift from service to community engagement. So in the past, when we think about like service learning or community service, we typically think about transactional volunteer work that's done by a person or a group of people within a certain community. This can take a lot of different forms. This can look like, spending time, sharing knowledge, or volunteering skills to perform a certain task. There are some things that come up with this where it often incorrectly assumes community needs or community priorities. And then often we find that the relationship is not mutually beneficial between the person or group and the community being served. So one of the things that we want your organization to start thinking of is how to flip that idea into community engagement. Community engagement is more intentional relationship building with community members, community organizations, and that's done through collaborative decision-making that helps find effective solutions. These can be political or non-political efforts. It relies heavily on listening to the needs of the community, so learning what their priorities are, listening to their ideas, and not assuming that you know the best way to help them. And then it also observes and respects intercultural differences between yourself and the community that you are serving. As you move forward in building more meaningful community engagement, there are two terms that we like to have you keep in mind. So civic context is one. And that basically means that you are aware that there are different aspects of cultures, of people's lives, and the different communities that you're working within. And when you keep this lens in your work, it helps to make sure the effort that you're making to connect is positive and is collaborative in working to find solutions. And then the other term is civic life. So this is an individual's participation in addressing social issues in a community. And this can be any type of activity, any social justice issue that you can think of, or any need within a community that you can think of that you're involved in counts as developing your civic life. The goal of this presentation is to help you all build that over time. And now Carice is going to talk a little about some steps you can start taking now to move towards this.
Yeah, so we talked about the perspective shift when it comes to things like community engagement and why we're doing some of that shifting in perspective. Now let me share like a few ways to help your organization to begin to increase that intentional and meaningful encounters when it comes to community-based learning. So with the framework, there are really three main ways that you can think about creating this framework. One is through education, community engagement, and then reflection. So with education, really taking that time beforehand to engage with community partners, learn about the organization, the context and the histories, relevant social justice topics is really important when it comes to helping a community around you. We said a lot about, Shannon emphasized to not assume, and that's where that education piece comes in, of making sure that you really understand what you are going into. With the community engagement piece, it's really having connection and building those relationships. You need to want to connect with the community partner to learn about the community identified priorities and how your organization really fits in to those priorities that they have outlined themselves. And then the next piece is reflection. It's really important, going back to the education, for it to be more meaningful for you, is really just having those discussions afterwards with activities for participants to share their experiences, make connections, and to have that pre-engagement education be a little bit more meaningful. And sustainable partnerships. This is really important when it comes to building that community engagement, to have something that is thriving instead of just a one-time opportunity, which are often the ways that we see as the first way to go when we want to help people around us, is that one opportunity where we did something and we can almost check it off on a box. But having a really meaningful community engagement opportunity looks like having those community identified priorities and opportunities, like we mentioned earlier, having reoccurring connections and communications. So really prioritizing those relationships with the people that you're working alongside and collaborating with. And having intentional training, education, and context sharing beforehand, during, and really showing that in the reflection afterwards as well. Cultivating commitment among members. You are all leaders of an organization and all excited or interested about having some of this community engagement in your own organization. One way to make sure that the people who you are working with feel some type of agency is by making sure they also have an opportunity to identify and discuss topics that they care about. And really creating that opportunity for members to learn more about things they're interested in, rather than it being something random or disconnected from what they're already passionate about. People like helping others, and just finding those ways to connect what you already want to do to something that another community organization has a need for is really a beautiful way to do that. And then make sure to schedule opportunities that align with availability. Sometimes that seems like obvious, but those more minuscule logistical aspects really make a difference when it comes to having a lot of attendance when it comes to community engagement.
So I'm sure one of the thoughts you're having with the information we just provided is, what are some ways that we can start to apply this immediately? Like, what are some opportunities for your organization to get involved in more meaningful community engagement? So we've picked out two opportunities. One is a long-term Towson University partner, and one is actually an on-campus opportunity for you all to engage with long-term. So the first one is more environmental. This one is the Irvine Nature Center. This one is local to the university. And their primary mission is to honor the responsibility to care for the environment and embrace sustainable practices. They aim to provide very high quality collaborative experiences with anyone that enters into their community. Some of the ways that you can participate in this particular community organization is through both individual and group volunteer opportunities. So there is opportunity for you to gather a bunch of your members and go to this location and participate in whatever program they may have and whatever cleanup they may have. They have environmental education programs, they have trail and garden maintenance, they have special events. But the thing with these types of opportunities is to engage in continuous relationship. This is typically the type of opportunity where people would go do like a one-day cleanup and then walk away and sort of check that box that Carice mentioned earlier. But for this to become meaningful community engagement, you have to be in constant communication with people from the organization. So with the Nature Center, for example, you would be aware of events that they have coming up and learn ways that you can support to further their mission. This is an example of a great off-campus opportunity. We can definitely provide you all with more information after this session if you are interested. But an on-campus opportunity that's local, more convenient for a lot of students is the Towson University Food Share. So this is a program that has been developing over the last couple of years, which helps to address food insecurity on campus. They help students, faculty, and staff, and they have a program that allows for people to come to the food share and get up to 10 items per week that kind of meet those basic needs. I met with one of the representatives from the food share, and we talked in depth about ways that students can be involved in a meaningful way. So these are opportunities for your organization to kind of get a schedule together so that you all can participate in some of the following ways. There are opportunities for packing food for delivery. You can assist with facilitating information sessions after you have participated in training with the food share. If your organization or if your studies have provided you with a specialty like culinary literacy or financial literacy, there are opportunities for you all to engage in that way. And then there's also opportunities for processing donations that come in from other community partners. Again, this is kind of an introduction to meaningful community engagement. So the focus would be on creating regular opportunities for your organization to engage. And as you do this, you start to learn a little bit more about not only the food shares needs, but your fellow peers, your teachers, your community. You learn more about how to best address those needs. The whole thing around increasing community engagement in a positive and intentional way is to learn more about the community that you're serving so that you can continue to collaborate in an effective way. So those are just two examples. There are many more opportunities on campus. There are ways that you can connect with our office and with a few other offices on campus to learn more. And we'll, provide you with some of that information towards the end.
So I know that we provided you with a lot of information, especially at the end of a long day of different types of trainings. So if you are like me and need a to-do list or a bucket list, here are some very easy bullet points to write down for next steps for you trying to do this in your own organization, especially for those who might have trickled in a little late. This is a really good overview of what we've been talking about. So one is just connecting with organization members, or identify shared passions with the people in your group and connect that to the organization that you want to help with and see your availability. Two is exploring existing community partners. We have a list of contacts as well. You can use that as a guide, but also if you find another place that aligns more with the passions that you've identified with your group, feel free to just explore them, research them, learn more about them. Third is contacting and confirming potential partners. This is just also to make sure you can actually support the community identified priorities. Going back to the thing about assuming, I know we've said it a million times, but it is so important to make sure that you're not assuming what the community partner needs, but instead contacting them, having a relationship and building that. And then 4 is preparing members for those activities with the pre-education and then the reflection afterwards, just to make it something that really sticks and is meaningful and beneficial to both the people who are participating in the activity and also the community organization as well. And our little hint at the bottom is Caesar is here to support you every step of the way. So if you have any questions about which step and how to go about each step, the Office of Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility is here to support. With that, I also will put a link in the chat for our newsletter. You can hear about some of the opportunities that we have on campus, and let you know about those. But I really appreciate you all for coming, and would love to open it up to any questions that you might have. Yeah.
All right, so we will provide all of this information to you all, our email, some of the resources that we have for you guys finding organizations to connect with. Yes, I will also provide that for you as well. We did want to just open it for any questions that you guys may have. We just have a few minutes left, I think until 4:35. But we do want to give you guys just a few moments to either post questions in the chat. You can also unmute yourself and ask any questions that you may have. And we will do our best to answer them with the time that we have. You can also post your email into the chat if you would like for us to continue to be in contact with you after this session. We are definitely able to communicate with you guys through email, set up any meetings for questions that you may have so that we can continue to support you. Yes, I can provide that for you guys. I'm going to post their website in the chat. And that way you'll be able to find like all of their contact information. Here we go.
To address a couple of the questions, we did not have a sign-in link when you all came in, but we have been taking attendance throughout. So don't worry, your presence here is appreciated and noted on our end. And also, if you have questions or email us, but also come visit us. We're in Union 252, so feel free to come and visit there. Tell us you met us in this during this time, and we'd be happy to chat that way as well.
Yep. So we have just a couple more minutes. Give you guys just a few more moments to post your emails, post any questions you may have. And also, like Chris was saying, if any other thoughts pop up after today, you can feel free to email us or just pop in. There's always someone here. If you have a more complex question or idea, we can always set up a meeting time where we can get together with you all to support. And we'll capture all of these emails. Thank you all so much for providing your emails in the chat. Just making sure we didn't miss anything. Okay. I saw a few people definitely interested in the Nature Center, so that's very exciting. They always have work, they always have opportunities to connect. Good, this is great. And again, that link for the newsletter is in the chat as well. If you guys would like to sign up for that, certainly click that link. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you guys don't have any additional questions, if you've already popped your email into the chat, that is much appreciated. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you're very excited to start on this journey to meaningful community engagement. And remember that we are always here to support you at Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good one.